Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. For this video, I have about 8 topics. But before I do that, I will make a short announcement. I thought about making a video, maybe 3 times a week, discussing your comments. There is reading some of your comments, pulling them out, and then discussing them, giving some answers, because you guys make many valid points in your comments. I know I do not comment on comments. Sometimes, rarely I do that. Lack of time, I apologize for that. Nevertheless, I read your comments, and I was thinking that I should discuss them in one video. Maybe I will do like 3 videos a week. I'm not certain yet to the extent, the time and frequency. Nevertheless, I will discuss some of your comments, suggestions, topics, ideas, and I think that's very relevant and they are very interesting. I'm not certain yet if I should mention names of the people, the subscribers or whomever comments, or not. You tell me that. I am not intending to bash anyone. I do this for an educational purpose and sharing. Educational, why? I saw many people who are, many comments that are really, they're almost there, but they need a little bit of guidance in, I don't know, being able to really understand what's going on in this world, which is, who's who and what's what, and don't attack the messenger. So that's with that. Let's go to this video. So maybe you comment in this video and tell me, give me some suggestions. All right, let's start with this video's topics. As I said, about 7 to 8 topics. The first one, obviously, and I have to confess that I feel bad when my negative predictions come true. But the problem is I'm here to show you what they don't show you. There is usually negative stuff because they tell you it's a beautiful day, which it is, but they tell you it's an ugly day. And I'm just showing you in reverse, it's a beautiful day. Unfortunately, I show you the other way. They say beautiful day, actually it's a shitty day. So the United States of America wants to institute a no-fly zone in Ukraine. Why? Because they're losing. Therefore, they got all kind of reasons, the drones, the missiles entered the Polish airspace and we have to defend ourselves over the Romanian airspace. Well, we have a bipartisan. House members push Biden to allow Poland to shoot down Russian missiles over Ukraine. Just an advice for my Polish friends, the Russians will have no patience with you. They will you up. All right, that's my little advice for you citizens to take care of your guys in charge of you, supposedly. What can you do? Well, just read history. So that is the first one. And the US Congress, these guys are pushing for it. Biden is about to leave. So what do you think could happen? So he's just taking a shit, closes the door and runs out. And you stay with the shit, basically. Ukraine asked Poland to shoot down Russian missiles. That happened before. What do you think will happen? I think the Poles will be pushed into this. And you're going to get it. I don't want the Polish population. Now we have here a question coming from the Russians, which is, what's the problem with the North Koreans helping us, Russia, when you guys in the West have been helping Ukraine for so long? This is the question the Russian ambassador to the United Nations asked. Now, the short answer is, and the answer that you're supposed to and I were supposed to think of instinctually and say it is, hey, you're bad, we are good. End of conversation. Well, we're not in kindergarten anymore. Let's move on. We have this baboon, and he says that even with the support of North Korea, Russia will not prevail in Ukraine. Well, let's discuss that one. And the guy was our Secretary of State, Lloyd Austin, who was working before this job as a appointed Secretary of Defense, not of war or offense. No, we are defending, protecting, okay? But we sell weapons to everybody else, the biggest business in the United States of America. It seems like this is what we manufacture. or they manufacture with us. So these guys, if you remember, he was, if you don't, he was a Raytheon, that's arm manufacturing, one of the biggest in the world, arm manufacturing companies in the US. He was on the board of directors. So he was taken from there, from private to public. He was public before he was a general, still is, I guess, and retired. So that's the way democracy works in the United States of America. All right, now we find out that the Ukrainians say that the North Korea-Russian military alliance poses global security threat. All right, is it, how about the Israel-America or US alliance? Does it pose a global security threat? Well, the answer is about 47 seconds before this one. No, because they're good. So if they're good, they can't possibly pose a global security threat. All right, so it seems like the shit hit the fan. These guys know they're losing and they're trying to grab whatever straws while they're drowning. And another prediction, personal prediction, that came true. And that is, they will get Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I predicted, will eventually move to Russia. His assets will be frozen here, taken over, given to some friends of whomever political garbage is here, and he will be a hunted man. X will be closed or blocked, or, I don't know, someone else, I don't know, Bloomberg or someone is going to take over, I don't know, Bernstein or somebody is going to, or Zuckerbergstein is going to take over it. It's going to be just, how they call it, nationalized. All right, and in charge would be, I don't know, Victoria Nuland, the same line. So he was summoned to court. I told you, you need an arrest warrant. You have 1,000 judges that will sign it for Elon Musk. We'll find out. This is the justice system we are in. It's a veneer of what these guys even profess of being. The problem is it's out in the open right now, and the baboons are too busy eating each other's fleas. Stay a little bit. I got some more here. Yeah. All right, next one. Russia working with Hamas and Israel to free hostages. What does that mean? That means that the Russians, the adults, enter the scene. The problem is you have the understanding between Blinkenstein and the Jewish state, which is never going to be broken. Why? Without that little umbilical cord, the baby will... All right, next one. We find out that you, my friends, in the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, could be hit by North Korean long-range missiles. Well, and the last article and topic, European Union citizens are told to stock up for nuclear disaster. Another prophecy, because I'm a prophet now. Another, prognosis, prediction I made, negative one. These guys will get you to that. These guys being your or our elected officials. So let's start with the first article, shall we? And here it is. This comes from The Hill. Bipartisan House members push Biden to allow Poland to shoot down Russian missiles over Ukraine. Clear? That's going to result in Poland being hit by Russian missiles or nuclear weapons. That's another prediction. The bipartisan leaders of the US Helsinki Commission are calling on President Biden to greenlight NATO ally Poland to extend its air defenses to Ukraine's skies, helping shoot down Russian missiles under the guise of self-defense, in a letter obtained exclusively by The Hill. And we have Mr. Cohen. You know who Cohen is? You fucking know who Cohen is? All right. He is the chair and ranking member, respectively, sent a letter asking Biden to grant Poland the authority to intercept and neutralize missiles over Ukraine, particularly those threatening the encroached upon Polish airspace. All right, let's look at this beautiful map. This is the map of Ukraine. Poland is located right here. This is Belarus, this is Russia, this is the baboonish Romania with Moldova and all this, and this is the Crimea Peninsula. Okay, so this is the Polish side that they will revendicate, they will want that. I think they will want all this actually, up to here if you ask me, and since you didn't, I will just say it. Yes, why? Because of, if you remember, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, they owned that, they conquered it. So now in self-defense, the baboons in the United States of America tell the baboons in Poland to shoot in self-defense the incoming missiles. Why? Because as you know, 2 missiles, I think it was on 2 instances, they claim there were some Russian missiles attacking Lviv, that area in the west of Ukraine, and entered the territory and then came back. And then they said at one point that they found a missile. They didn't know if it was a Russian made, but doesn't mean it wasn't possibly a Ukrainian launched. But never caused casualties. The Ukrainian missile, on the other hand, it killed 2 Polish farmers, if you remember, on that tractor in that village, which for me it was almost impossibility to do it without actually pinpointing it. I mean, the odds are 1 in, I don't know, 1 trillion. All right. I made this video when it happened. So they're not going to impose anything on these guys are going to impose on the other ones. You can make the case, well, we're going to defend our territory. Yes, on your territory. That's just fine. Something enters, the shit out of it. Okay? That's the point. But no, that's not the goal. They try to push it as self-defense, shooting the incoming Russian missiles coming towards Poland. I mean, they can come towards you right now, and before they get to you, they fall here. No, this guy want to shoot it right here. That means no-flight zone. They did the same thing with Gaddafi. That's why Gaddafi lost. Gaddafi would have been probably alive right now, and all the regime change would have been a failure if the NATO defensive alliance did not bomb, all right, did not bomb and did not impose a no-flight zone over Libya. But hey, you have 4 million people versus the United States of America with the vassal states, NATO. Here you have Russia. Russia has nuclear weapons. I'm sorry to say it, my Polish friends, the Russians will fuck you up. And if you think you're going to beat the Russians, we're in bad shape then. All right. These guys are going to use you like they use Ukraine right now. It's going to be your turn. You know why? Because you are not their people. The Poles are not their people. The Romanians are not their people. The Ukrainians are not their people. Where are their people? About 20 million on this planet. Hint, hint. All right, yeah, the good people, the good people. So that's going to happen. It's not only that these baboons are trying to do that in the US Congress. I think it's going to happen. Why? Because Biden is leaving, so he's going to take a shit, close the door, lock the door so you stay with a stench, with a smell, and he's going to be dying. I was about to say running. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen. They will do it. And Cohen, Jewish, by the way, with Zelensky Stein, Jewish, by the way, with our foreign ministry, what's his name? Blinkenstein, Jewish again. Mayorkas, not going to mention him, but I just did. The White House Chief of Staff, again, go and check him out. We are all surrounded by Romanians, as you can tell. All right, let's go to the next article. This comes from the New Voice of Ukraine. Ukraine asked Poland to down Russian missiles to protect gas storage in Lviv Oblast. Zelensky. Yeah. This, again, one of you guys, a Ukrainian, right there for you. So, to protect, I said it before, NATO will bring troops eventually, if the Russians don't fuck them up before that happens, in Ukraine to protect, like peacekeeping forces, love-making forces, forces, this kind of forces, but they will be there, not active combatants. No. And do you think that, let's go to the map again, do you think that Zelensky, Stein, and these guys, where is that? Right here. Do you think that these guys really want only here, the Lviv, Lvov area, right here? That's it? And why not protect people? You see, they are concerned in protecting gas storage. Oh, it's for people? Okay, all right. And guess what's going to happen next after they protect this area right here? They will say, we're going to protect this one, and then we're going to protect this one, and we're going to protect this one, and we're going to protect this one, and we're going to protect this one. And then in self-defense, we have to attack Russia because they're the source of evil. They did it before. It's the mountain slope model. Start slow, like you start pumping, you don't go full force. And then that's exactly what happens. The same here, my friends. These guys, and they're gonna lie. They're gonna say, no, we didn't shoot anything in Donbass. We just shoot right here by our little border. No, keep your fucking missiles in your country. Otherwise, the Russians will destroy you. Friendly advice, a gentle advice. My God. All right, let's move to the next topic. Here you have it from Reuters. Russia asks at UN, if West aids Ukraine, why can't North Korea help us? And I already gave you the beautiful answer that you are supposed to think about it. Because right nowadays, you see, I think we have here a theocratic oligarchy. Why do I say theocratic? Because they have a dogma of political correctness, the right thinking, and then they have the oligarchs who are really in charge of us. Oligarchs being the big banking interest and military industrial complex and the energy sector. These are the oligarchs. The names you don't know really, you don't know the names, so you can't go and vote for them, if you know what I mean. So in this case, the Russian says, okay, these guys are helping, you've been helping these guys, and why it's wrong with those guys to help us? And I gave you the short answer, which I think is the clear answer, which these guys want you to think about it and say it loud. I'm proud. Okay, James Brown's song. Well, I just twisted it from say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm proud. All right. I mean, freedom. All right. So it is because you guys are bad. You can't have that. Two bad people against the good people. Are these guys the good people? I don't think so. And unfortunately, innocent people like you and I going to be dragged in a war with other innocent people on the other side that we're supposed to hate. All right, let's move on. This is the short answer. Why can't they? Well, it's too much logic and too much history there. We find out that, according to Mr. Lloyd Austin, even with Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is North Korea, support Russia not to prevail in Ukraine. Okay, then shut the fuck up. Don't talk anymore about North Korea. No. Because first, see, that's already a established truth that the North Koreans are helping the Russians in Ukraine. See, from most likely, possibly, why the operatives and these guys gave the signal and they just parroted. They established North Korean troops that are probably, I would say, in Russia at this point. They established intent. They're over there with the intent to go and fight in Ukraine. Not with the intent of being trained, exchange of experience, like, for instance, Romanian military, right after when Romania joined NATO. I know personally, directly, people in the military who were sent to the United States of America for some training. Does it mean they helped the Americans to, destroy the Chinese? Not yet. But yes, that was the goal. But still, they were not sent to fight, in Afghanistan, which they were eventually. It's such a garbage. Or in Iraq. So in this case, you have these guys, let's say the North Koreans in Russia, and the Americans already tell us that they're going to do this. And from most likely, it became a certainty. This is a long bridge between why those guys are over there, possibly. You don't know. Obviously, the Ukrainians claim they are already actively fighting. Okay, that if even with the guys' help, you're not going to win, then what's the yapping all around? I tell you what's the yapping all around. If you do that in self-defense, we have to adapt. Okay, and our adaptation will be troops on the ground. NATO, if you can do that, we can do that. Hey, but when we can aid Ukraine, you can't be aided by anybody. You see how justice works here? So we can help NATO with no alliances, no written statement between NATO and Ukraine that we are allied, but we help them 100%. Without NATO, Ukraine would have fallen in the first 2 weeks. That's a now we help them, helping them for almost 3 years. Those guys just enter in. We don't like that. We don't like that whatsoever. What do you mean? And then they will say, well, because you guys came in, we have to come in as well. It works only unidirectional. Whenever we pick and choose, I can't support that unless I'm an asshole. And it's up to you to determine that. I don't think I'm an asshole. I am sometimes when I want to be, and I will let you know. Probably just you have a gut feeling when I do that. But in this case, no, I think we are in bad shape. We are under certain kind of occupation. And we find out that the Ukrainians say the same thing as North Korea. This is according to New Voice of Ukraine. North Korea-Russia military alliance poses global security threat, says Ukraine's United Nations envoy. Why? Well, I tell you why. The answer is because they're good people, right? No, we're the good people, they're the bad people. Who said that? We say that. We identify as good and we identify you as bad. But you don't have the same right as we have. That is, you identify yourselves as good and you identify us as bad. No, because it's only one truth. The truth is there's no only good and only bad, or all good and all bad. The truth is it's a mixture of garbage. You have good, you have bad. Sometimes it mixes like good and bad. That's the way it is. And based on actions, you determine if this actor has bad intentions or good intentions in this particular situation. In these particular situations, I think the owners of the United States of America and the Western world want to take over the Russia's resources, nuclear weapons, and destroy their culture. That's what I think. I might be wrong. I've been wrong before, but hey, I don't think I'm wrong on this one whatsoever. That's the first step. And after that, they will use Russia as an example for China. So they will get to China. And after that, these guys are going to bring Pax Americana to all of us. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Yugoslavia style. That's Pax Americana. You cross me, I destroy you. You say something I don't like, I threaten you. That's the way these guys operate. All right, let's move on. So yeah, their military poses a global security threat. I don't think so. I think actually that alliance stabilizes the balance of power. We already saw by actions, by evidence that these guys are no good in this situation. They bombarded Yugoslavia, they bombarded Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria. Now they're going after Iran. And it's going to go towards North Korea and so on. And does North Korea have the right of self-defense? No. Why? Because we say so. If I'm an asshole, I would say, yeah, man, fuck them all up. Give me better life. But that's not going to be. Because they're going to turn, after they clear the international arena, they're going to turn towards their own people, which is you and I. And then it's going to be coming the real king. Why? Do you think that they're going to prove as being just and objective and good people after they show you they are not with everybody else? Why? Because they like you? We are modern economic slaves. That's what we are, and that's what we're going to remain. Let's move on to next one. Elon Musk ordered to attend court over US voter cash giveaways. Got that? So what did these guys do? Let's see their interpretation. Elon Musk has been ordered to attend a court hearing on Thursday, days after the billionaire was sued by prosecutors in Philadelphia over his 1 million giveaways to voters. What did he do? Do you remember what he did? Let's see if these guys tell us what he did. Musk announced earlier this month that he would randomly award $1 million prize to people in battleground states, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and North Carolina, every day until November 5th. Why? Let's see. To be eligible to win, the giveaway requires registered voters to release personal identification information like address and phone numbers. Okay? They are also required to sign a pledge that they say that they support the Constitution. That's it. So you have to register to vote. That's what you need to do. It doesn't mean you're going to go to vote. It doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that you're going to vote for who Musk wants you to vote. And then sign a pledge to support the Constitution. What is the problem? What is the problem? If Bloomberg will do the same thing, or Zuckerberg will do the same thing, or Bezos will do the same thing, or that imbecile with his Microsoft will do the same thing, Bill Gates, I guarantee you this will be interpreted supporting the Constitution, supporting the democracy. No, if someone says, Emil, I want you to give me your name and address, when you file a petition, right, for a referendum or referendum, when you go over there to what do? I tell you, because I filed petitions. You write your fucking name over there, you write your address, and they take that. Correct? Correct. So what's the problem here? Oh, is the incentive? Well, I want money. Give me money. It doesn't mean that if you give me that money, I will do something else. I will write a petition. If someone would give me money for writing a petition for something, that's wrong. But it's not the case here. He said, just register. They say, yeah, I'm going to go to vote or whatever. This is my name. What's next? Because the goal here is to vote. He's not saying, here is your money when you enter the polling station, the voting station. It's not that. That would be illegal. Or I give you money, go over there and vote for that guy. No, you can imply, but I can imply many, many, many things. This little melon has a lot of implications, right? So no, it's not the same. It's not the same. And the other one, what's the problem of pledging allegiance to the Constitution? There are elected officials, when they get elected in some states in the United States of America, where they have to sign a document pledging, I can't remember the name of the document, pledging that they will not boycott only one country on this planet. Only one. Can you guess what that country is? Starts with an I. Yes, India. All right? What? I boycott whomever I think my constituency decides that that's a bad actor. No, you can't do that. You sign the pledge. And these guys are upset. These guys are signing a pledge from the Constitution. Give me the money. I sign with both hands right there and one in my mouth. So, yeah, they're going to get... The problem here, they want to silence Musk. They want to silence us through him. Imagine we have the only important media outlet, not media outlet, how do you call it, platform that we can speak up and speak out is Twitter. If they close that, what are we going to go? We're going to be monitored by Zuckerberg? Is that what it's going to be? Yeah, because Zuckerberg is independent. No, he's not independent. He hasn't been independent for a long time, I think. So then you're going to have limited freedom of speech by whom? They want to destroy the freedom of speech. That's what they want to do. So yeah, next time is going to go to Mr. Musk and tell Mr. Musk, you show up in court, we have a problem with you. Musk summoned to court over election lottery. So if the election lottery means that I give my name and my address and I say I will vote, I have baboons showing up at my doorstep. They just identify me, give me Kamala Harris. Why? Because vote for Trump or something. I don't have the other ones. And I see them, they stop in front of my property and they walk and they hang that. They didn't hang to the next ones and they have me on the list. Why? Because somehow I'm registered as Republican. I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat. Got that? I'm none of those guys. None of them deserve me. Paranoid? No, they're... All right? You can pick things up from these guys, but you can also pick up from the socialists, from the communists, from the, how they call them now, libertarians and so on. You can do that, but no. So they identify me as a Republican, and then they show up over there. How did they get me? They have me in their evidence. It's not hard to find things about a person. Not hard at all. I worked in the system. I can find things that, oh my God. And not as a CIA or FBI, they can go and... All right. So that's a big thing. Give me money, I go and sign up. I have no problem with that. Doesn't mean I'm going to go and vote. Doesn't mean that I'm going to, I pledge allegiance. Do you think I'm going to be legally binded to the my signature. I pledge the allegiance to, and I love the Constitution, and I want the constitutions. I want it to be as it was intended. That is freedom of speech, freedom to carry, freedom to incrimination, all these things, including the right to vote for everybody above the age of certain. Why? Because up to that you're not ready. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we have this from Sputnik. Russia working with Hamas Israel to free hostages, Deputy Foreign Minister says. Very good, very good. Unfortunately, that will come out to nothing because the understanding between Israel and the United States of America is as it is. But at least these guys are using the Russians. They give the Russians the importance, the illusion that they are involved. As I said in the past, when this thing happened in last year in October, and 7th of October, that we should not, personally, I don't give a shit. I'm an American. Those guys, I don't care about what's going on with their dates. But guess what? Our children will learn and would have that stuck in their brain about that event. All right, that's their thing. And if I'm a free person, I am free to like or dislike whatever. So I've just told you my assessment on that. So nevertheless, when that happened and the Israelis entered into Gaza, this is what I said. The Israelis will do whatever they want to the extent of fulfilling all their goals in Gaza, and not only. And the Americans will keep everybody at bay until this guy finishes up the job. And I said, when that's going to happen, the Israeli will come and say, in the meantime, they do whatever they want. They're going to come and say, United States of America, you said what? Oh, yeah, we, And that means that should signal the end of the operation, successful operations by the Israeli Defense Forces over there. The problem is their success will create more garbage. Why? Because, when you kill someone's parents, you have children. And the children will grow up to be lovers, if you know what I mean. But they know that it's going to be a continuous garbage until one people going to push the other ones out, or just get separate but equal in such a way that they will have no contact, no way to even interact. Why? These guys work with God and things like this, so you can't argue with that kind of things. So, yeah, these guys, they're going to talk with the Russians. Nothing will happen. Why? Because it's the Americans over there who, if they want, they can block whatever the Israelis tell them to block. That's my opinion, my gut feeling. So let's see how the North Koreans can hit you and I because we are good and they're bad. This comes from the Canadian press. Must be true, right, my fellow Canadians? North Korea's long-range missile test signals its improved potential capability to attack US or to defend themselves from the US. No? Can we? No, because it's the Canadian press. Everything here goes like this, man. We self-ascribe as good. We ascribe you as bad, or assign you, or call you. It's teenage talk. This is, I was about to say, but I don't know if I should say it. Dogmatic belief thing, where this is good and this is bad, and the good and evil thing. Yeah, but in between it's some murky stuff. But here these guys are functioning like that. And the media, the operatives, are still pushing for that worldview. Good and evil. And who's good and evil? Whomever they designate as good and evil. So yes, these guys have the capability. So all this deterrent that these guys were talking about, North Korea, worked? No, now it's even worse. The Russians and North Koreans we're like brothers. Why? Someone's failure sounds to me. Whose failure? These baboons here, don't you think? But failure for us, but the military industrial complex, the banking system, and the energy sector are fat cats. Fatter than before. Luca. All right, let's go to the last article, which should be very concerning to all of us, not only to the European baboons. Russia Today. European Union tells citizens to stock up for nuclear disaster. Households should also be prepared for cyber attacks and the use of chemical weapons, a report has warned. Why? Because you guys messed with the wrong person, Russia, Putin. That's why. You wanted to pull on Putin a Gaddafi-style removal, and you couldn't. You failed. You failed in that. It's true that your interest became stronger, but eventually they will not take over Russia's resources. That's the goal. And the market over there. So, my friends, get ready for that. Who's going to do it? Yesterday, I covered an article where Russia was target practicing with its nuclear missiles, long-range nuclear, in case of an attack, as a response. What does it tell you? Russia lowered the threshold of using nuclear weapons. These guys want to shoot Russian missiles over Ukraine. My friends, we're going that way. We're going that way. Sorry to say it. Do we get there? I guarantee you these guys don't give a shit. Why? They have their bunkers. And when they will be they will feel a small pain, they will stop everything. And then we will talk to the Russians. And they say, yeah, man, why don't we talk to the Russians? And that person will get a Nobel Prize, preferably a Bernstein guy who's going to come and say, well, how about we talk of, maybe I know Ben Shapiro, are going to say, hey, how about we talk to the Russians? The button was pushed, the signal was given. Oh my God, we never thought of talking to the Russians and negotiate. And they will sell the Ukrainians 100%. I guarantee you that. Ukraine will be a non-real state. And if it's going to be a state, it's going to be controlled by the Russians. And it's going to be never coming out of that. Why? Who's going to pay all these loans, the aid that is given? Who's going to pay for that? It's going to remain to the 17 million people, Ukrainians that are going to be end up. It's not going to be 42 million anymore. It's going to be 17. And 17 is going to pay for everything these guys did already to them. It's not going to be the Russians. Ukraine is going to be a failed state. And Zelensky is going to go to New York or London. I guarantee you that. He's not going to be there. He's not going to go to Israel because over there the shit is going to hit the fan possibly as well. You got some people who believe that, some entity somewhere promised them someone else's land, and therefore that's their land, and they have nuclear weapons. That means you can't do anything to me, boy. What are you going to do? Nothing. So, and besides, they think that how much they got, it's even smaller than how much they should be given because someone talked to them. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Get ready, my friends. Get ready. Do I think that you should go and buy your stuff? No, I would do this. I buy bullets. Why? I pay visits to the people who stock food. I told a neighbor, I don't know, a few years ago, he was stocking for the end of the world. And I said, I'm not going to buy groceries and shit. And I said, I'm going to buy bullets. He was like, huh? Say what? Yeah, I'm going to pay you a visit to talk to you when I need anything. But he didn't have guns anyway. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. A real joke, but it was made like a joke. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.